Thanks for your company here. Now, John News can confirm that President Kufuor has firmly settled on Justice Sophia Kufuor as Ghana's next Chief Justice following last night's cabinet meeting. After frank discussions with his cabinet, at which other names such as Justice Jones Doche and Enimi Abua came up, the President made a strong case for Madame Sophia Kufuor. Chief Justice to be Justice Sophia Kufuor. Now, she served on the Supreme Court for 20 years and she has a master's degree in law from the Harvard University in the United States of America. Well, she's also been a member of the governing committee of the Commonwealth Judicial Education Institute and also chairperson of the Alternative Dispute Resolution Task Force. Justice Kufuor was elected one of the first judges of the African Court on Human and People's Rights in January 2006 and re-elected until 2014 when she served as the vice president. She's the immediate past president of the court. Now let's head over to the presidency. My colleague Elton Brobe is on the line. Hi, Elton.
Hi, Benny.
Yes, we're expecting the president to make a major announcement today, midday. What are the preparations and when exactly is he going to make this announcement?
So officially, we are about 20 minutes away from that major announcement
expected to be delivered by President Kufuor. Now, that announcement will be the formal, outdooring of the soon-to-be Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana. As you may be aware, the current Chief Justice, Dr Mahmood, was stepped down as Chief Justice on the 8th of June. She would have reached the compulsory retirement age. And in consonance with the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, the President has that ultimate responsibility to nominate a person to replace her. Now, what we've been told is that the processes leading up to what we are likely to be told in the next 20 minutes has already been fulfilled. That is, the President has already submitted the name of the person who will be appointing or she will be nominating as Chief Justice to the Council of State. The Council of State has advised on that particular person. That's how the President has that authority to now tell the whole of Ghana the next Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana. And information we are picking it that he settled on Sophia Kufuor. Now, that was not without a fight. I'm told that yesterday at a cabinet meeting, and even prior to that cabinet meeting, the President had several meetings with top aides, legal advisors in the government before settling on Sophia Kufuor. Indeed, names like Justice Enimi Abua and Justice Doche came up strongly, but I'm told that the feminine factor played a key role in the fact that Sophia Kufuor is senior to the two other individuals, Justice Enimi Abua and Justice Doche. So the President eventually settled on Sophia Kufuor. The name was submitted to the Council of State. The Council of State advised on it, and so very soon, President Kufuor will walk into the banquet hall of the Flagstaff House, where he will announce to the whole of Ghana the next Chief Justice, whom we are told is Sophia Kufuor. The next stage will be for that particular announcement to be made official to members of Parliament, to the Speaker of Parliament. They will be referred to the Appointments Committee of Parliament. They will start their own vetting of the Chief Justice. They will report back to Parliament for the plenary of Parliament to take a decision on the Chief Justice. If the decision is a yes, then Sophia Kufuor will go on to become the second female Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana. A while ago, I saw some, family members of the soon-to-be named Chief Justice walk into the banquet hall of the State House. The place is being prepared. The President, as I speak right now, is in a meeting with some delegation from Angola. Right after that, he will walk into the banquet hall and then he will speak to the nation, justify the reason why he settled on Sophia Kufuor, and then tell the nation the next steps, which I've already enumerated. Parliament to vet her and then take a decision on the Chief Justice nominee, Benis.
The information will come back to you when the President is ready to address the nation. Thank you so much. But Away from the Flagstaff House, members of the Council of State are today touring parts of the eastern region to get first-hand information on the impact of illegal mining, popularly known as Galamsey, led by Chairman Nana Otu-Srebo II. The first point of call was at Chebi, where the council called on the Ochihene Osajafo Amwetia of Oripenin. Chairman Nana Otu-Srebo II said the visit is aimed at enabling the council appropriately advise the president on how to end the menace. Our News' Joseph Akable is with the delegation and joins us on the phone with more. Hello, Joseph.
Hello, Bennett.
Now, we know that the Ochihene has been particularly unhappy about a particular BNI report mentioning him in relation to Galamsey activities. Has he been speaking to the Council of State on this matter?
Yes, Bennett. In fact, he's very unhappy about that. The point he made was that since 1999, when he became the chief, he has been leading a lone fight against illegal mining. He goes to make the point that he wonders why he wants to be engaged in illegal mining. As to how much anyone could pay him for him to want to engage in it, he doesn't see any wisdom in engaging in such acts. For which reason he has issued a very stern warning. He says he was very unhappy about that BNI report that implicates his palace as being involved in illegal mining. He says he has instructed his lawyers that henceforth, if anyone dares mention his name in relation to illegal mining, that person will have to answer to him in court. But he also went ahead to ask some advice for the Council of State, saying that this is the very first time he has seen any Council of State since 1999 come over to try and find out what is the issue on the ground before they give advice to the president. So he's only recommending that they should have effective policing in place across the various mining areas, not one that ends after a short while, but one that stays on for long. And that is the only way he's certain will ensure that the menace will end once and for all. If that is not done, he says, people will leave the mining site but return once the teams or the task force that inspect the site leave afterwards. So he wanted a proper system in place that will last longer to be put in place to ensure that it ends the menace once and for all.
Now, Joseph, the Council of State says that they decided to tour some parts of the eastern region to get first-hand information on illegal mining and its impact. Have they been able to visit some Galamsey sites or abandoned Galamsey sites, and what have they been telling you?
In fact, Bennett, that is just what we are doing right now. As I speak to you right now, we just exited Ochihene's palace. Ochihene himself is accompanying us. We are visiting the mining areas. As is custom, when you visit a place, you cannot begin to tour the land without falling on the overlord of the land. So that was why the first port of call was here at the Ochihene's palace. And once we dealt with that and we are done with it, we are moving on to the mining areas to take a look at it. And as I said, the Ochihene is accompanying us to some of the areas, after which you leave a delegation to tour the other remaining areas.
Thank you very much, Joseph Akable, coming to us from Chebi in the eastern region, where Council of State members are touring some illegal mining sites to assess the impact and get first-hand information on the menace so they can give appropriate advice to the president on how to deal with it. Away from that, the La Police Command is investigating the death of a 30-year-old woman allegedly butchered by her husband, who is on the run. The distraught family of the murdered woman is calling on the police to arrest the prime suspects. Let's go live now to my colleague Na Anyoko Ejay for some updates. Hello, Na. What can you report? You're currently in Labadi.
Yes, we are currently at the La Divisional Police Station, where the police commander briefed us on how it all happened. According to the commander, they got a report that someone has murdered his wife at La Girls School. They followed up, and when they went, they really saw what happened. They moved the body to the, according to the commander, they moved the body to the Ridge Hospital, where they were later asked to go back to they were transferred back to the police hospital. They were later transferred to the police hospital. So from there, they were issued a statement again. But the police are saying they are now investigating the crime.
Okay.
And with the records, the suspects, name given as Rex, yes, has been on the wanted list for a while now.
Okay.
But the police hasn't been able to trap to track him down. Yeah, apparently because his father is an ex-police officer.
Okay. Now we hear this
Dennis, can you hear me?
suspect named as Rex has confessed. Can you confirm that?
Yes, Rex confessed on records. When we got to the crime scene, Rex confessed on records that he actually murdered the wife.
All right,
According
thank
to
you
him,
very
the wife said she was leaving the relationship.
Okay, and that is what
Hello,
caused
Dennis.
the argument. Is that what caused the argument that
Dennis.
unfortunately led to her death? Well, there seems to be some struggle with not hearing me over there, but she was coming to us from the La Divisional Police Command, giving us some updates on that unfortunate incident that occurred yesterday, where a woman believed to be in her 30s was murdered by her husband. We now hear that the man has been on the police wanted list for some time now, and he's actually confessed to murdering the woman. Still on alleged murder, there is heavy police deployment to Taifa, Burkina here in Accra this morning, as a heavy exchange of gunfire overnight left 2 dead and several others injured. Eyewitnesses say one of the victims was shot dead while the other was butchered by a mob. It's unclear what might have sparked their disturbance. My colleague Maxwell Agbagba was at the scene.
I had information yesterday that there has been shooting incident. So this morning I decided to come and see things myself, as we call visit to the scene of crime. We have the district commander, Buafo, the divisional crime officer, Opong, there's no Opong, and then the finance officer who is doubling up as the divisional operations officer. And we are here. We are told this kiosk is the source of the incident. That a guy built this kiosk for a lady, and that guy was informed that the lady was flirting with another man. So when they met, the two men met in this kiosk, that kiosk over there was an argument. And out of that, one guy used bottle to hit a Rasta man who is supposed to have built this kiosk for the lady. So the Rasta man went to his house and brought pump action gun. On his way coming, he was accompanied by his friend who was holding petrol in a gallon. I'm sure with the intention to kill that guy and burn the kiosk. So when they came, the two guys came, the one who was holding the pump action gun started shooting indiscriminately, and that incensed the community members. But before then, he had shot a friend to the one who built this kiosk. It's just unfortunate he shot him. So that incensed the community members. They chased him to a place and then lynched him. They killed
the Rasta man.
Rasta man, because he was holding gun, he was able to run away after killing that guy. But the guy who was holding petrol and accompanied the Rasta man to this place was lynched. He was lynched by the mob. By the mob, we went to the scene of crime. From here, we can go to that place. Yeah. So that is what I've been briefed so far. That is what I've been briefed so far.
So the other person who ran away, the other person who was killed is the friend of the Rasta man. So yes. Two people, the friend of the Rasta man, and which other person again?
The friend of the Rasta man and an innocent person who has nothing to do with this.
Okay. He was shot by the Rasta man.
Yes.
Okay. So I want to find out, what is the police doing about the situation right now? We see you around making sure that there's peace and all of that. Are you going to get your patrol teams to be here? What will you be doing?
This is it's not a community issue. It's a friend versus friend. We don't expect any retaliation from somewhere or revenge. We don't expect that. So we have started investigation, and you see that hole is one of the A shot from the Rasta man that penetrated. Yeah, we were even lucky if someone were in. It should have been a problem. It would have been a problem. So we have started investigation. We are told the mob also burnt the Rasta man car. So we are going to visit a place where the accomplice who was carrying petrol in a gallon and accompanied the Rasta man. The Rasta man was holding the pump action gun, and the accomplice was holding gallon of petrol. After the shooting, he was chased to this place by the mob, and he was lynched. You can see the pestle, you can see stones. So this is where the police came and picked the body to the police hospital for preservation and further investigation. Yeah, this burnt car belongs to the Rasta man who is now in police custody at Kwabenya police station. After the exchanges of words, he went to brought this car with his accomplice, parked here, took a taxi to where we went, the scene of crime, and after the incident, after shooting one man and his accomplice lynched by the mob came here to burn his car. The band came here as a revenge to burn his car because he had then ran away. But police managed to arrest him and sent him to the police station.
That's actually the Accra Regional Commander briefing my colleague Maxwell about what exactly happened. So, Maxwell, this woman in question, did you see her?
Yes.
Can you describe her?
Well, I met her at the Kwabenya police station. She looked very worried. She's in her mid-20s. She's a beautiful lady, I must say. Beautiful lady in her mid-20s. And she operates a boutique where, we were standing with the commander initially, the first scene. She operates that boutique. So yesterday, what happened was that sometime around 2 p.m., she was there with the Rasta man, the suspect, also known as Kwesi Gideon. Okay. And then this other gentleman, who is a boyfriend to the lady, whose name is Yawa Samwa, came and then met the Rasta man, the suspect, there. And then he confronted him and asked him, okay, the girl is my girlfriend, so why are you here? What are you sitting doing here with her? And then that was a point where, the scuffle started. The other gentleman, Yawa Samwa, hit the suspect, the Rasta man, on the mouth with a bottle. That got him angry. So the suspect rushed back home, came back with a pump action gun, and then started shooting sporadically around the area where the boutique is located. The residents living in the area got incensed and angry about the shooting that was going on. They tried stopping him. They couldn't, stop him. Then they realized he came there, with another gentleman who was carrying a gallon of petrol. The residents got angry about that. They started beating him. So that's when they started hitting him with pestles and then, claps. They beat him, till he died there on the scene. The suspect, Rasta, sensing danger, rushed and was trying to, escape the scene of, the scene. He rushed into another room. When he entered that room, the people who were chasing him with cutlass and all of that, came to the place, and then he was inside the room to, as a way to get them to despair so he can, run out. He shot, from the room. Somebody who was standing outside with a cutlass waiting for him outside was hit by the bullet. And the gentleman who died, at that scene also happens to be the brother of his bitter rival.
Interesting.
Yes.
Very interesting.
So that resulted in the death of 2 people.
All right. So what's the police say now, briefly?
Well, they say that they've started investigations into the matter, and they will try their best to round up all the people, involved in the case. But as it stands right now, there's still, uneasy calm in the area. When you get closer to some of the residents, you want to speak to them on the issue. A lot of them are shying away from it for the fear of being, that they'll be implicated, in the matter. So investigations are still ongoing. Thank
you very much, Maxwell Ababa. Great job there. And you're watching Dawn News Today with me, Benis Abubedi. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll bring you more. Thank you for staying on Joy News today with me, Benis Abubedu. Now let's head over to the Volta region. There's heavy security presence at Alavanyo following the death of a 13-year-old boy, Prince Kwakuche, yesterday. It's not clear who the assailants are, but correspondent Ivy Setiji reports the boy and his family were attacked by gunmen at their residence. Other members of the family who've sustained injuries are currently receiving treatment at the government hospital there. This comes 2 weeks after a 16-year-old student was shot at neighboring Nkonya. It's however unclear if the latest development is linked to the conflict between the two towns. The regional minister was in the area to assess the state of security. Let's speak to Ivy now, who is coming to us live from the area. Hello, Ivy.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. What has the regional minister been saying?
For now, the regional minister wouldn't speak on the issue, and so the minister, the regional secretary, meet and deliberate on what to do. So for now, he's not been able to speak on the issue.
All right. Ivy, do you have any updates on the family members of this young boy who was killed yesterday, who also sustained some injuries?
Hello?
Hi, I'm asking if you have any updates about the other relatives of this young boy who died, because we hear they also sustained some injuries.
Well, one family member sustained injury responding to treatment. I spoke to a family member, an uncle of the dead earlier, and he was saying that they needed justice. They want the authorities to do something more than they've been doing, so that they reprisal attack, if that is it, if they are not sure if it's a reprisal attack or it is linked to anything, but then all they want is something should be done. They should do more than they were doing.
All right, and what's the mood in the town? Do you see police and military men? Because we also hear there's heavy security presence there.
Yes, there is heavy security presence, both military and the police. There is some sort of tension in the area, as people said they are living in fear.
All right, finally, before you go, Ivy, the president is expected to be in the Volta region tomorrow. Can you just briefly tell us what he'll be expected to do?
Yes, the president is expected to be in the Volta region tomorrow. He'll be at the Kumasi Senior Technical High School for their anniversary. He will give a speech there, and later he will have a cocktail with some selected media, the regional secretary, heads of department in Ho, and also on Sunday he will worship with the Global Evangelical Church Siave branch, and also in the afternoon the president will have a rally in Ho and then depart from Ho for Aqua at 6 p.m. So that's the itinerary for the president coming.
Well, thank you for those updates, Ivy Setiji, who's coming to us from the Volta region. Now, away from alleged murder stories, the Gushigu Midwifery School has recalled Cecilia Awuni to write her final examination a day after she was driven out of the examination hall because she's pregnant. Following Joy News' report on the matter, the Nurses and Midwifery Council has condemned the action, saying it is illegal. Thursday afternoon, Cecilia Awuni was called to the school to meet the counseling team. We told her to report this morning to take part in the ongoing examination.
They invited me to the school that they want to take me through counseling. So I should go back and be in uniform and come. So I went back to the house, wore my uniform and came back to the school. So in the office, they sat down, they said, whatever has happened, they were going by the school rules and regulations in the previous year. But now that the rules and regulation is taking different dimensions, they are telling me to come back to the school and write with my colleagues tomorrow. So I shouldn't take it into consideration that the school may maltreat me or they will sabotage me in one way or the other. They are not going to do that. They will treat me like the other students. So if I have any problem concerning my studies or concerning my health, I'm free to come to any of the tutors and ask for help, and they are willing to help me. So I shouldn't put it in my mind that because this case has gone out of the media, they are going to maltreat me, or they are going to mark my papers down in case I write any exam in the school.
We can confirm to you here that this morning Cecilia Awuni actually took her papers at the Gushegu Midwifery and Nursing School. Still in the health sector, every 60 minutes, scoliosis attacks a number of children in Ghana. These children will be stigmatized for life. They die slowly and painfully as the twisting spine crushes their internal organs, including their heart. They may die before the age of 15 minimum and 2 years maximum. To help save the lives of these children, Joy News, in collaboration with the Focus Orthopedics Hospital, is organizing a fundraising dinner to put over 100 children through surgery. Dr. Joseph Ojedu is a medical officer at the facility and tells Joy News the severity of the condition.
These children have conditions which would limit their life expectancy, and without access to medical care, quite a number of them would die before they reach adolescence. And those who have the less severe conditions that would survive really would become cripples that would not be able to contribute to society. And so any donations that will be received will be essentially used to help these people to access direct medical care, surgery, staying on the ward, getting medication, which would save their lives. Some of it would also be used to support the children's ward, the children's classroom, because their treatment is very different from any type of surgery that anybody else has to have. They necessarily have to spend quite a number of time in hospital. They may spend up to a year, sometimes 6 months in hospital, and all this is time that is essentially wasted because they are not learning. A lot of their life skills and things that you need to survive in this world, you learn it as a child. Okay, so we want to create an environment that whilst they are in hospital receiving medical care, they should be able to learn the alphabet, they should be able to learn some mathematics, they should be able to learn about their environment so that they do not lose out when they join the mainstream of school. The challenge is that the conditions that we are trying to address it's very difficult and expensive to treat, and across the world there are very few centers like Focus that do this type of work. There are very few centers, so it is very good for anybody to be charitable and to donate to any institution or to any cause. We are trying to raise awareness about a peculiar condition and a peculiar problem. The fact is that in the whole of West Africa, there is no institution like Focus that can do this. In the whole of Africa, there probably isn't any institution that can do this type of work. So this is a condition which is unrecognized and their needs are underserved. And that is what we are trying to address. And that is why you need to donate to Focus.
So that's really disturbing. Then these children may die before the age 15 minimum and 25 years maximum. And that's not some good news. But joining me in the studio is Dr. Mahmood, a spine specialist at the Focus Orthopedic Hospital. He's here to tell us more about tomorrow's event. Good morning, good afternoon, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure.
You deal with these children, and sure. Tell us sometimes not only the physical stress, but what are the emotional, stress that these children go through?
Oh, of course, these children have a very terrible self-image. Most of the time, they are so dejected, and they feel so uncomfortable. They are not able to mingle with other children, and they find it so difficult to integrate themselves back and function as very effective members of society. So the surgery is aimed, one, at addressing the terrible self-image that they have. Two, is to the surgery is aimed at improving their lung function, because what spine deformity does essentially is to compromise the lung function gradually until they essentially become pulmonary cripples. That's why you don't see many adults walking around with spine deformities.
All right, Doc. So
all what they need is just one bout of pneumonia and they die.
They die. All right, so Doc, who can be at this fundraising event and how do they get a ticket?
Everybody can come. We encourage as many individuals and corporate organizations as possible to make it to the event. There are numbers out there that we'll give out so that anybody who is interested in making it to the event can reach out on those numbers. And then people can also come to the venue holding at Movenpick Hotel at 6 p.m.
At 6 p.m. tomorrow. What's the target? How much are we hoping to raise?
We are hoping to raise about 5 million cedis, so that we'll be able to help about 100 patients or so who are on the list, waiting on the list, but cannot have these surgeries because the funds to take care of them is just not available. Over the years, we've managed to raise funds from the United States and Hong Kong, but then there's a sort of donor fatigue. I mean, these donors keep asking us, what of your environment? Have you made any attempt to raise funds to help these kids? That explains why we are making this effort to raise this. We receive patients from all over the continent. For instance, patients coming from Ethiopia are sponsored by an organization, the American Jewish Joint Distribution Committee. They sponsor hundreds of patients with spine deformities every year to the Focus Hospital, where these children undergo these life-transforming surgeries. Right. Children from Sierra Leone also get sponsored, from Nigeria get sponsored, but in Ghana, there's virtually nobody that sponsors these children to have these life-changing surgeries.
All right, Doc, so what else do we need to know about your event? We know that it's happening at the Movenpick Ambassador Hotel. What time?
At 6 p.m. Yeah. Hopefully, we will be able to touch the hearts of individuals and corporate bodies to help out, so that we'll virtually give the children a new lease of life, so that they can be able to function effectively as members of the society.
Thank you very much for your time. Dr. Mahmood is a spine specialist with the Focus Orthopedics Hospital, and they are collaborating with Joy News here to raise funds for 100 children to have surgeries in their spines. We are taking a break now on Joy News Today. Emmanuel Abuateriaf is next with business news. This is Joy News Today with me, Benis Abubed. We have to take you live to the Flagstaff House because President Kufuor is set to make a formal announcement that Justice Sophia Kufuor will take over as Chief Justice of this country when her leadership, Chief Justice Georgina Wood, retires on the 8th of June. As you can see in your shots, people are seated. Again, the President is ready to address the state. Also, we know that Justice Sophia Kufuor herself and her family members are there as well. There she is in your shots. Let's cross over live now to the Flagstaff House. Wait for the President to give a formal announcement of Miss Justice Sophia Kufuor as the next Chief Justice, and also give his reasons why. Let me just tell you a bit about this woman. She served on the Supreme Court for 20 years. She has a master's degree in law from the Harvard University in the United States of America. Well, she's also been a member of the governing committee of the Commonwealth Judicial Education Institute and chairperson of the Alternative Dispute Resolution Task Force, the ADR. Justice Kufuor was also elected one of the first judges of the African Court on Human and People's Rights in January 2006 and re-elected until 2014 when she served as the vice president. She is the immediate past president of the court. She is also on the disciplinary committee of the General Legal Council and has held membership of many organizations. So currently my colleagues are standing by at the Flagstaff House. We'll take you live there. The vice president, I hear, has arrived at the Flagstaff House. We'll be bringing you that particular address when the president is ready to speak. And, well, he'll be giving reasons why Justice Sophia Kufuor was the best choice for the position of Chief Justice after Madam Georgina Theodora Rood retires on the 8th of June this year. Now, let's briefly bring you some international news. We'll go over back to the Flagstaff House when the president is ready to speak. The South Korean government has ordered car makers Hyundai and Kia Motors to recall about 240,000 cars after a tip-off from a whistleblower. The ex-Hyundai employee raised concern about defects which affected 12 different car models. It is the first time the country's transport ministry has issued a compulsory vehicle recall. Hyundai and Kia had earlier refused to act voluntarily, saying there was no safety risk. Kia is an affiliate of Hyundai, and officials are reportedly asking the country's prosecutor to look for any evidence of a cover-up at the car makers. The models affected include Hyundai's i30 hatchback, its Sonata mid-size sedan, and luxury Genesis and Kia's Mohave, as well as its Carnival minivan. These models and others were found to have issues with vacuum pipes, fuel hoses, parking brake light, and several other faulty parts. Now we'll take you back to the Flagstaff House, where President Kufuor is set to announce Justice Sophia Kufuor as the next Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana. We know that Justice Kufuor herself is currently at the Flagstaff House together with some of her family members. The Vice President has taken his seat, and we also know that Information Minister Mustafa Hamid is there. Some other high-profile persons are there. Justice Sophia Kufuor is a Harvard-trained lawyer and has been at the Supreme Court for the past 2 decades. She also trained as a lawyer under President Kufuor. She's been a member of the Commonwealth Judicial Education Institute and also the chairperson of the Alternative Dispute Resolution Task Force. In January 2006, she was elected one of the first judges of the African Court on Human and People's Rights and currently serves as vice president on the court. On the Ghana Legal Council, Justice Sophia Kufuor sits on the disciplinary committee, and we're picking information that the president will speak shortly. And meanwhile, we know that JUSAG has been raising some concerns that they were not informed or they were not consulted when this decision was taken. But we know that the president settled on Justice Sophia Kufuor after a cabinet meeting last night. We'll take you live to the venue as well as do some analysis here in the studio. Please don't go away.